So should you paint or stain brick? That's what I'm going to cover today's video. It's something I used to hear a lot when I ran a painting company. And what I come up with here, it might be a little bit of a surprise to you because a lot of the market doesn't really know. I don't think there's a lot of awareness yet, but so let me just jump right into it. So should you paint or stain? And quite frankly, if it hasn't been painted before, or if it has a clear sealer on it, then you would, if it's been painted before or it has a clear sealer, then you got to paint. But if it doesn't have those two things, then I would highly recommend staining it because for so many different reasons. For one, brick is porous, right? So what happens is it retains moisture, and it retains moisture from the ground up. It retains moisture from, just outside weather conditions, or, like water coming down the side from a roof or anything else like that. So it retains water. And as soon as you put an acrylic latex paint on top of it, it's going to put a layer on top of it and seal it. And the problem with that is once you seal the moisture back there, when winter rolls around, ice is more dense than water, and it will deteriorate. It can deteriorate your brick from the inside out, which is the problem, right? Whereas with stain, whenever you apply a stain to brick, it just stains it. It works into the brick, and it's a much better application, to be honest with you. And then the other thing too is it over time as it just fades whenever it needs to be repainted, restained, which is fine. But with paint, it comes off in like chips or like flakes, which is much harder to get a really good result, right? Whenever you repaint it again. So that's something to think about. The other thing, the other benefit to stain versus paint is paint doesn't last as long. Painted brick is only going to last you about 3 to 7 years. Some people claim that it's going to last 10 to 20 years in an elastomeric paint or whatever the case is. And I've just never seen it to where it just starts chipping off or flaking. I mean, maybe, but I would expect 3 to 7 years on a paint. And that's even with pretty good prep work and everything else involved. With stain, you're going to get anywhere from 10 to 20 years. And I know it's a wide gap, but that it really depends based on how much sunlight your house gets. If you're using a dark color versus a light color, if you're using a dark color, it's obviously going to fade faster. Versus a light color, it's probably going to last longer. Or if you got a ton of shade versus like your house is in or property is in direct sunlight, then it's going to fade faster as well. So, but you're going to get a much longer lifetime out of it. And yeah, so those are really the benefits to that. So how is it applied? So typically what you'd want to do is you want to spray it and then have someone behind with a big brush that works it in so it gets into the brick. That is the goal, right? So you want to work in as best as possible. And in most cases, you're going to need anywhere from 2 to 4 coats. Depending on, if you're going to a dark color, you're going to need less, right? Usually. If you're going to a light color and you got red brick, it's possible it could take like 5 coats of stain. Now you can stain it whatever color you want. We typically use a product, or whenever I did run that company, we used a product called H&C Concrete Masonry Stain, which you can get over at Sherwin-Williams, and you can have them match it to any color on their exteriors. That's it. So any of those colors, or I think they can match interior too if you're doing a fireplace or something like that. So yeah, most people don't really know that. Most people tend to just want to paint the house. And the other thing I didn't want to talk about was cost, right? Does it cost more than painting and things in that? Yes, it does, because it does take a little bit more labor. It usually takes more coats. It's usually about 20 to 30% more than painting your house. But that's usually the first time. It lasts longer. You're just going to get a better look out of it. It's going to actually feel like brick. It's just stained, right? Now, like I mentioned, that a lot of painting companies aren't even aware that you can do this, right? So if you're looking for somebody that will stain your brick versus painting it, then head on over to our website or click button wherever it is here. There'll be a link somewhere to fill out a form to connect with people that do brick staining. And so you can get a result that looks amazing. It looks great, and it's going to last you for a really long time. We've already found these companies for you. So I think that's really it. If you like this video, hit like or subscribe or whatever. My name is Michael. I'm the founder here at Vetted Painters. And till next time, I'll see you then.